Okay, guys, today we're going to be working on the events. So the events are, I use group events, so we're going to be using groups of events to organize. So we're going to do pick tile preview, and as soon as the application starts, we're going to do start a frame, fast loop, start loop. Name of the loop is going to be preview gen x, and the number of loops is 128 divided by 8. And actually, instead of doing it that way, you can just do the size, whatever the width of your square backdrop is, divided by the original x size. And then on loop preview x gen x. We're going to do start loop preview gen y, and it's just going to be po.org. There are two ways to do this. I'm doing it my own way, which is used less, but I think it's a better way to do it, just in my own personal preference. So we're going to get the x and y of the picture, which is 1056 by 996. We're going to say create object tile preview at like 0, 0. And then position, where is it? Oh, you need an active picture. Active picture. I'll try to remember to put an annotation in the last video. And then just fast. Original width. Excuse me as I fix this for a second. Okay. Just try to fix these so that it's an active picture and then original width of and original height of. And then go to this, create the active picture at 0, 0. And then position, set x position to fast loops, get loop index of tile gen x times 8. And then this is going to be all in parentheses, plus 1056 is I think the starting position. I think this is how you get rid of it. No, oh well. Let's see. Yeah, 1056, and then so this is basically going to, now it'll generate it with the x position. As far as I'm aware, it should work like that. Just because I want to see that this is working correctly. Oh. I'm going to check this. I haven't done this in a long time. In case you can't tell. It's been a while since I've done a level editor anything. Anyway, under preview gen y, put position set y coordinate to basically the same thing, except change this to y instead of x, and then this to 96. So now if I run it, it does not. Why isn't this working? Maybe if I switch this around to the back, maybe for some reason now it'll work. Or maybe I typed it in wrong. Yep, I typed it in wrong. It's not title gen, it's preview gen. I'm sure at least somebody caught me on that. There we go, so now it's filled it out. In this backdrop, I'm going to make another layer to just put the backdrop on, so that it's on top. So now there's a square with the tiles. Now that that's been created, we're going to do insert group of events, load levels, and then start a frame. We're going to, I think, under files you can load directory list, which is what you want to do. And directory list is, you're going to do $appdir, right? Or is it appdir dollar? Yeah, appdir dollar plus slash levels, capital L, and then another slash. And you also want to do, before that, a start a frame, insert name exists appdir $sign slash levels slash, and then negate this. So basically, if it doesn't exist, we're now just going to go ahead and create it so that everything else will work. And then directory actions, create a directory there. So now if I go ahead and I think, let me go ahead and open up where I have it saved. Documents, level editor. So when I now run this, it should create a folder here. Yes, it does. So that's good. And if I were to create like new folder test, then here it should have test written, but it doesn't. So load directory, I don't know anything about it, so I'm not going to screw around with it. What I can do is I'm going to do let's see. I thought it would just work as list everything in the directory. But there is another way to do it. I'm gonna go add a different object, file folder. File folder is much better than the file object. There's a lot more commands and it's much more advanced. So we can probably get rid of this and just say hard drive, check if file, not file exists. Is that not a thing? Maybe it'll work. File exists, app dear, levels, negate, commands, create folders with a path. Let me just delete the levels folder and run this. It did create it, and then just gonna run this to see if it'll like delete it. No, it's good. It's good. So set everything like that, and then oh wait, no. Yeah, it's good. New folder test. Yeah, good, that works. So set everything like that, and then underneath that start a frame, you're going to go under file folder, hard drive, browsing loop, start browsing a folder, and absolute full path is going to be appdir plus levels slash browsing loop ID is going to be 0, and then we're going to say hard drive browsing loop on folder or on item insert we want to be not a actually it can be just a hang on, let me do compare two general values. And you're going to say browsing list get current path what you're going to do is you're going to say, where is it? Maybe we do need the file object. So file, because we're wanting to get the extension. So extension name of that browsed path is going to be .arr, and then we're going to add a line with the browsed path, or no, not with the browsed path. We're going to add a line with the name of the file title of the browsed path. So now if I go ahead and create a new text document, this is a new computer, so open Notepad, and I'll say this is a test, and save it as levels and all files. Save it as test.arr. That is now a fake array file. So now if I run this, it should have test there, which is good because that's what we wanted. Let's get rid of these two. Save. So it now loads the list of levels, and next we're going to need to make delete a level, which is going to be delete level button clicked. Then and we also want to do if has focused, not focused. I'm I'm gonna add a quick pop-up message. Whenever you're allowing somebody to delete things, you never want to just let them accidentally delete something. So I'm gonna have a pop-up message show up. So if the list has focus, enable the delete button, and if it does not have focus, disable it. And then if the button's clicked, have a yes, okay, and cancel button. You can use any of these. I'm going to use an exclamation and say the file cannot be recovered after deleting, or proceed with deleting the level, and then warning. And then if the OK button's clicked, then we're going to delete the file actions. Delete a file, and then it's going to be appdir plus levels plus get current line plus .arr. So yeah, we need to do one more thing to be able to test that, which is new level, insert group events, new level. Gonna copy these, and we need an edit box. Doesn't really matter where. Just trying to get in the middle. There we go. And then button insert compare to general values. Get text is different than just nothing. And then we're going to say or logical if it does equal nothing. Disable. So now does not have focus though. Oh, alright, I'm dumb. Fix that. So that's still the wrong one. New level. So doesn't have anything, doesn't have anything, doesn't have anything. That's not going to work. So I'm going to say replace compare to general values. You're going to get the current line number is greater or equal to -1. Or not greater or equal, just greater. Because -1 is if there's nothing selected, and anything higher than that is there is something selected. So just copy and paste it so it looks like this, with greater than -1, equal to -1, greater than -1, equal to -1. And then make sure that your list is a 0-based index, so not 1-based index. And this shouldn't be here in the first place, so get rid of those 3. Good. Again, haven't done this in a while, so I'm trying to remember as I'm doing it. But if the new level is pressed, don't bring a pop-up menu, but file actions, create a file. Create a file that's going to be appdir plus levels plus get text plus plus .arr. So now if I run this, if we look in this folder over here, I do test, new level, it should create a test.arr, which it does. And if we refresh this, it has test, and then if I delete it, can't be recovered. Press proceed with deleting the file. Yes, and it should delete it, which is good. That's what we want. The one thing is it doesn't refresh the list afterwards, so all we have to do is restart the frame. Jump to frame 1, and when the file is deleted, jump to frame 1. So now if I run it and say make a test level, it'll refresh, and then delete, it'll refresh. And it's, yeah, it works fine. It's good. Save. Those two are done, and I'm going to change this to list levels because there's going to be an actual open level. Next is going to be that, which is group events open level. And you know what? I'm going to rename this to edit level and clone it and make a play level. So I'm going to rename this to edit level, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and say, well, I'm going to just go ahead and copy from delete level right there, and then enable, disable the edit level, and then edit level is clicked. We're just going to go ahead and you're going to add a global string called level name, and you're going to set the global string to get current line, and you're also going to file array files, load an array file, and the file you're going to load is app directory plus levels plus get current line plus dir, and method's just going to be 0. So that should be good. I'm going to go into the storyboard editor and rename this level select. And for the tile preview, now we're going to do something else, which is going to be, I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to say selection changed. We're going to load the file and get rid of this. If the selection is changed, and I'm also going to make this not global. Selection is changed, load the array, and then if the array is loaded, we're going to start the loop for tile pick x for that, and then on tile pick x we're going to do tile pick y. And then under preview gen X and preview gen Y, we're going to ultra value set A to loop index for preview gen X, and B is going to be preview gen Y. And then I'm going to go ahead and rename those ultra values to be tile Y and tile X, so that we can easily call them, and also start a frame destroy, just so you don't have an extra one. Good, so that's set. Save constantly, never forget to save. But tile pick Y, we're going to insert ultra values, compare one of the ultra values, tile X equals fast loop for tile pick X, and tile Y is tile pick Y. We're going to go ahead, and I'm just looking at the capture to make sure that my clicking isn't too loud. I think it is a bit. I'll move my microphone for the next video, but where was it? Okay, so we're going to do this, and we're going to say new picture is going to be use expression. We're going to say app dir $+ tiles, slash tiles slash plus get string from key, and the key is going to be tile plus fast loops tile pick X, and this needs to be a string, and lastly plus you need to have these delimiters between them, which are just going to be semicolons. You can have this semicolon be whatever you want as long as it's not a number, because it's basically going to split up what's X and what's Y on the positions, because if you don't have them, then position of X equals 1, Y equals 11, which would be 1, 1, 1, is the same as X equals 11, Y equals 1, which would also be 1, 1, 1. But if you have anything is like a delimiter, like the semicolon, it'll be 1 semicolon 1 1 or 1 1 semicolon 1. So it just splits them up, and then set this to Y. And lastly, you're going to do plus .png. So that's a kind of a long thing, and why do I have why do I have the folder? Don't know what that folder was. We're going to quickly do something like in list levels, start a frame if tiles doesn't exist. I'm going to create tiles, and then if we run, I'll get a tiles folder. And now I'm going to go ahead and create a couple of pictures, parody pictures. I'm going to get like green, and then this can be like grass. If I get spray can, I get like dark and light. just spend just a little bit of time getting a little gradient thing. There we go. There's my grass, and then I can save this as we're going to get it into this tiles folder basically. So, I'll save it as grass.png, and then we need one more thing to distinguish it from like another tile, which is going to be, I'll make like a water. There, that's fine. And then water.png. You can have these anything except for, I think, GIF, which is animated, because that you'd need an animation object instead of active picture. But anyway, next, let's see, what's next? So basically, if we run this and then I make a test level and then I click it, it sets it all to blank, which is actually good. We want it to clear that thing. And I also want to make it start cleared. So can I? Okay, I guess not. I'll just say start a frame. New picture, just nothing. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Whatever. It can start out just being all grass. It's fine. I think I'm going to finish edit level this group here, and then I'm going to cut it off for the next episode. Basically, all we need to do is when edit level is clicked, set the level name to be that, and we're going to create a new frame called edit level, and we're just going to jump to that. Jump to frame, edit level. And I'm going to be working on all the programming for this in the next episode. We're basically just make sure that you have the grass, at least 2 textures, and that your tiles and level folder are created, and that you have the 2 textures saved as whatever you want in the tiles.png. And then in the next episode, I will be working on doing the actual level editor instead of just this menu. I will see you next time.